Morning guys, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a wonderful week. So today I thought we would chat January favorites. I feel like my vlog schedule is going to be all over the place this week. So I'm filming this on a Monday, I'm putting this up on a Thursday. This is normally vlog day, but we're switching it up. So I have a couple of products to talk through that I've been really loving. One of them is behind me, so I'll kind of point to it and then I'll definitely link it down below. And then I definitely want to chat about this last month's book club book. So yeah, let's get into it. So first things first, standing in my bedroom as always, behind me is my sunrise alarm clock. It's honestly been one of my favorite things that I have incorporated into my morning routine over the last month or so. One of the things that really happened for us after the hurricane is we live in a very heavily treed neighborhood, and so much of the city lost a lot of trees, and so a lot of the privacy that we kind of had around the house came from that. And particularly for me, because of the higher level that I'm on with people who are in people's roofs and kind of fixing stuff, it really gave people bird's eye looks into my bedroom. But I love waking up with that like natural sunlight. So I did get some curtains so that I could have that privacy, but getting the sunrise clock meant that I could kind of set my phone to the side at night. Still get to wake up with that like natural light in the morning. The alarms on it are actually really nice. So there's a bit more of a piano one. It's very gentle. I love that. Sometimes I will wake up with a light a little bit more. I do sleep with the silk sleep mask on. That was a Christmas gift. For me, I find that like sleeping with a sleep mask really kind of kicks in my melatonin at night, just having that extra bit of darkness going on. So I really enjoy that, but I've been really loving my clock. So if you guys are looking to kind of switch that up, it gives me that like separation at night with my phone, so I really get that like decompressed time, and then it's just a bit more of a natural gradual wake up, which I really appreciate. Products this month, I don't know what it is. I think it's mostly because I've still been like rocking my little stomach thing for the last few weeks. I'm not 100% sure what's setting it off. I still have a few things that I'm like testing, but I just have been very mindful of that, because obviously I don't want to create more problems that are necessary, and if I have some kind of intolerance going on, that's never a fun time. So food wise, my diet has been here, there, and all over the place, although we have used Sunbasket again this month, and that's been lovely. So we did 1 round of 3 meals, which has been great to just kind of give us something different. I tend to be the cook of the house because I am the caretaker of the house, so it's nice that on the nights that I'm out or doing other stuff and don't really have the time, or I'm not home, and there's been something completely like designated. It's super simple if mom needs to step in and cook, and that's been really fabulous. So I will say one of the meals I probably wouldn't do again. We did a braised chicken and artichokes, and that was really great. And then I think mom did the Thai chicken cups last night, and I haven't tried those yet, but she said they were really good. So Sunbasket would be a food favorite for the month, just because it's been something to switch it up for us. But I have quite a few beauty products in front of me, but I'm going to talk essential oils first. So one of the things that I most commonly get sent as a blogger for PR mail is essential oils. That's just a thing. I guess when you're in the more wellness sphere, people think that you love essential oils, and I do like essential oils, but I don't use them nearly as much. So I have quite a few essential oils that I need to try and use a little bit more of, but I think that where I had it positioned, it wasn't something that I wanted to reach for all the time. But I was at a baby shower recently, and the blend that she had in her house was beautiful, and so I asked her what she was diffusing, and so she mentioned that she was using Doterra, that she uses Holiday Joy and Holiday Peace. Now, obviously, I went online immediately and had struggles finding them. I ended up finding them on Etsy. So I've been using some variation of this during the day over the last couple of days. I think the first day I used it way too much for the space, and so it was a lot. And then at night, I have been diffusing a little bit of lavender. So that's been kind of like a nice little part of my routine in the day. If you hear that little poofing behind me, it's the diffuser still diffusing what's left of the lavender from last night. So I tend to like swap them out every, whenever they run out in the morning or at night, but I love it. It's just a nice little part of my routine, and it's just, it scents my room really well. So I love my candles, but I love that that's a little more environmentally friendly. One of the things that kind of got knocked out of my routine whenever the hurricane happened was my regular like nail appointments, which obviously is a luxury and is super grateful to have, but it gave me the opportunity to kind of evaluate doing it for myself again. So I have been doing my nails at home, which is not like a big thing, but I notoriously always chip them when I do them at home, just because I find that I'm really rough on my fingers. So I found that for me, shorter nails works a little bit better, and then I keep the color longer. But one of the colors that I've been using a lot lately is from Smith & Colt. It is this beautiful black color. I'm not super into black nail polish, but this black glitter is my favorite, and it's called Dirty Baby. So if you've seen this in any of my Instagram photos lately, it is a favorite. I'm really loving it, along with several other Smith & Colt polish colors. Ren Clear Skin Wake Wonderful Nighttime Facial. I've had this guy for quite a while now. It was honestly, I mention her all the time. She's like my clean beauty guru, Katie Deno. So she mentioned this maybe in an interview or something ages ago, and so I snagged it. And I feel like I've used it a bit more in the last couple months, and my skin just looks really nice on the mornings after that I've used it. So I do want to try the Drunk Elephant Baby Sakura one, but because I have this one in my rotation right now, I'm gonna use that up. But I really like it. It's not something you use all the time. I tend to use it, if I remember, maybe once a week, sometimes not as much, but it's just a nice bit of my routine. But because I use other like acid toners and things like that, I'm not as fussed with it to use it all the time. But when I want that extra bit of glow, I definitely reach for this guy. And then I also have been using this little mask combo, is like my go-to duo of the moment. So it is the Tata Harper clarifying mask, and I use this for like 20 minutes. You look like a green alien. I mentioned when I mentioned this in the blog post that as far as this goes, I feel like I'm gonna get through this pot really quickly, mostly because it's not that big of a pot. It's only 30 milliliters, which means nothing to me because my American mind doesn't know much there. It's a fluid ounce. So I had the Peter Thomas Roth one for forever, and I feel like the nice thing about that is that it does last for ages. But I've mentioned before that clean beauty products tend to not have the same shelf life because they don't have quite the same preservatives in them. So if I get through a full thing of this, I'm okay with that. I really like this guy. I find that it does a really good job at kind of smoothing my skin and just giving me that extra bit of glow. I haven't had any like crazy bumps that I've had to really kind of test that on, but it's also not that like pore drying mask one. For those, if I have anything that's like insane and like heavy as far as bumps, I tend to try to pop on my Lindstrom Problem Solver. That's what that one's really good for. But if I just want like that nice glow to kind of take any little things away, I reach for this guy. And then after it, I pop on my Josh Rosebrook Advanced Hydration Mask. I love this. I feel like this duo is just the perfect pair. My skin feels really nice. It feels really soft. This one smells freaking fantastic. It kind of smells like it has very Blue Cocoon vibes, Lindstrom wise, or if you've used any products with Blue Tansy, that's what this reminds me of. I looked at the ingredients. I couldn't remember if it actually had anything in there of that, but I really like it. I will say that I feel like I might have ruined one or two of my washcloths. I need to double check because you wipe it off, you don't rinse it off. So I think I need to like extra wash those washcloths. Hair product wise, so I mentioned earlier this month that I was dealing with some damaged hair, and part of the reason I think that's happened is because I went away from this guy. So this is a favorite, again, this has been a favorite in my life for years, and it's the Beauty Protector Protect and Detangle. I've just been rotating this guy back in. I'm really working diligently to repair any damage that's going on with my hair, just being mindful of how I'm protecting it and the products that I'm using in the shower, the products that I'm using before I put any hot tools on it, and just anything after that, and trying to minimize the amount of times that I do put heat on my hair. In general, I tend to wash my hair twice a week, but as far as like heat products after the first initial day, I try to be as like diligent about not doing that every day as I can. So some days, if I'm not leaving the house and I'm not like going out in public, I don't like, there's no makeup, there's no hair, like it's just very, very chill. So today I've just popped in some dry shampoo, which is the next thing that I'm about to show you. But I love this guy. I've always loved that it's a leave-in conditioner and a heat protectant, so that I don't feel like I need two products. Which is why it kind of held the spot that it did for a long time. I swapped in the Kristen S leave-in conditioner because I was hoping that would kind of be an alternative, but it didn't have nearly the heat protector in it that I wanted it to, and I feel like that was, I wasn't protecting my hair as well. So this guy is back in rotation and will probably stay in rotation for a very long time. It takes me a while to use up a bottle anyways, considering I only wash my hair twice a week. Moroccan oil dry shampoo for light tones. So I was watching, I think it was Vlogmas, and I've noticed that Alex from My Covet Thee, she was doing a cleanup, and one of the things that she had was a crap ton of dry shampoo. But the crap ton of dry shampoo that she had was this guy. So I thought it has to be good. If she's got that many cans, like it as her backup of it, this stuff has to be good. I do like the Kristen S one. I had a gift card for Nordstrom, and I did that thing where you're like itching to spend it, and so sometimes if there's something that's like within the price range of the gift card, I will grade it and try it. And so I grabbed this guy. I really love it, and I feel like a little goes a long way. Like I feel like this can is so pretty heavy, and I just really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to love this one as much as I do, but I really do. I would put it up there with my obsession with Amika Perk Up. So I'm a super fan of this. I want to keep this kind of in my rotation for a while. I plan on doing something maybe similar to the dry shampoo post that I did before, but maybe on like the higher end dry shampoos, so kind of separate them between the two. But this Moroccan oil one is fabulous. Obviously if you have darker hair, I feel like that might be nice that there's two different tones and it works really well for you. But I love this. I feel like obviously I have short hair now, so I don't need a ton of it, but it does a really good job at helping me to get the volume back in my hair and to just really absorb that oil. So it's definitely a winner for me. All right, book wise guys, so if you've been waiting for the monthly book club books, let's talk about that. So Little White Lies was January's book. I think I snagged this at Target maybe. It feels like there was a Target sticker on the front of this at one point in time. And I kind of read the inside and I was intrigued by it, but I hadn't read it before I suggested it, so I wasn't quite sure what we were going to get into, but I love it. It was just so good. I've noticed that Jennifer, as like, because I've read another one of her books this month, as an author, she tends to like to give you in these mysteries like little bits of information before. So when I was first reading this book, there are these little, they almost look like ads, and so I thought, why the heck is there like an ad in a book? All of this information ends up being pertinent later. You just have to get to that. So that's the other thing, is there's like almost two stories kind of being told in there because they jump forward to a moment and then they jump back. So I definitely want to reread this again with that in mind. I feel like this is going to be, yeah, there's going to be more than one because it obviously says one on the side of it, but I enjoyed it. It kind of reminds me of the like Gilmore Girl vibes of when Rory is going through her debutante. So there is that. Obviously it's a bit, I've been on like a YA kick, so young adult novel kick lately. I do have a handful of other ones to read actually in a stack next to my foot currently, but I have been really enjoying Jennifer as an author. I really loved Little White Lies. I thought that, you know, it was a good story. There was lots of little bits of information, but I think I really love the personalities of the characters, and for me a lot of times that's what sells it for me, is if I can see the sass, or I can relate, or I can kind of dive in that way. So I'm happy with this book. This was January's book club book, and I'm super thrilled that we did read this. If you aren't already joining book club, there's a link down below. There's always a link. And then the other thing that I have read, I'm actually on a third book in this series, and it's called The Naturals from Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So the back of it says, 17-year-old Cassie is a natural at reading people. Piercing together the tiniest details, she can tell you who you are and what you want, but it's not a skill she's ever taken seriously. That is until the FBI comes knocking. They have begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to close infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie's help. Cassie moves across the country to train with a group of teens whose gifts are as unusual as her own, who can be as puzzling as the unsolved homicides they have to work together to crack. Cassie's roommate Sloane is better with statistics than she is with people, and a human lie detector, Leah, as prickly as they come. Brooding Dean shares Cassie's gift for profiling, but keeps her at arm's length. And then there's the sarcastic, privileged Michael, who has a knack for reading emotions and uses his skills to get inside Cassie's head and under her skin. Noah in the Naturals program is what they seem, and when a new killer strikes close to home, danger creeps closer than Cassie could ever have imagined. Caught in a lethal game of cat and mouse with a murderer, the Naturals are going to have to use all their gifts to survive. So, I really enjoyed this. I'm on the 3rd book. Part of it is that like Cassie's mom died, so that's like an unsolved mystery for her, so they're still dealing with that in the 3rd book. I'm assuming that we'll get like resolution to that by the end of the 4th book, but I just find it fascinating. The personalities, the reading, it's like I kind of want that like skill myself. And again, with this book, she gives you a bit of perspective from whoever the killer is or whoever's mind we're trying to get into sporadically throughout it. So I enjoy her style of writing, and I find that that's what happens for me a lot of the time, is that I kind of dive in to an author and I really enjoy their perspective and how they tell a story, and then I kind of go from there. So all that being said, the book club book for February. I hummed and hawed over this, and I thought about doing another one of these, but I wanted to do a different author. And so I've been trying to read quite a few books as like contenders, and I found this book when I was buying, I think maybe Naturals or another book. Like I purchased a handful of books on Amazon recently, so this was kind of in the recommended section, but I'm still not sure how I feel about it. So it's kind of one of those things where, you know, when you eat something or you try something or you do something and you really want somebody else's perspective on it because you're not sure how you feel about it, that's what February book club is going to be. So One of Us is Lying. I mentioned this book in a blog the other day. I have very mixed feelings about how it ends, and I can't say anything without giving it away, so I need you guys to read it so somebody else can talk with me about this book. So pay close attention and you might solve this. On Monday afternoon, 5 students at Bayview High walk into detention. Brownwyn, the brain, is Yale bound and never breaks a rule. Addie, the beauty, is a picture-perfect homecoming princess. Nate, the criminal, is already on probation for dealing. Cooper, the athlete, is the all-star baseball pitcher. Simon, the outcast, is the creator of Bayview High's notorious gossip app. Only Simon never makes it out of that classroom. And before the end of detention, Simon's dead, and according to investigators, his death wasn't an accident. On Monday, he died, but on Tuesday, he planned to post juicy reveals about all 4 of his high-profile classmates, which makes all 4 of them suspects in his murder. Or are they just the perfect patsies for a killer who's still on the loose? Everyone has secrets. What really matters is how far you would go to protect them. Yeah. Like I said, I had mixed feelings on this. It was really interesting. I definitely didn't quite see where it was gonna go, and I don't know how I feel about how it ended, but it was a good book. It did keep me guessing. I think that there were a lot of interesting personalities. I thought I originally read that it was like Gossip Girl meets Breakfast Club, but it's really more like Pretty Little Liars meets Breakfast Club was what I read. And I can see that because you don't quite, the people who are being suspects, they keep being tormented. So it's kind of a like, everybody's trying to solve it. And you're learning everybody's secrets along the way and everybody's growing. So it's a good book. I'm excited for you guys to read it. So somebody can tell me what the heck and bob they think about the ending of that. But this One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus is going to be February's book club book. And yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. Quite a few favorites. Everything will be linked down below in the description box. And yeah, make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up because it shows my channel lots of love and support. If you haven't already seen the other 2 blog posts that are up for the week, go check those out. There should be one about my winter makeup routine, and then there's also one live about all of the apps and things that I use to run my business kind of on the go, on the fly, as I'm traveling, just making a mobile work. So yeah, I love you guys. You matter to me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.